Hello, my name's Ally Sherrick and I'm a time tunneler. Now, I'm here today to tell you all about historic beasts and where you can find them. And I do love to include an animal in my own stories set in the past. I have this little chap here, Jago the mouse, who features in my story Black Powder, set at the time of the Gunpowder Plot. And then here we have Pippo the monkey, who appears in my story set in Tudor England called The Queen's Fool. My first encounter, though, probably with an animal from the past was when I went to the Natural History Museum when I was little and I met Dippy, the dinosaur. Now, Dippy used to be in the Grand Hall at the Natural History Museum, but in recent years it's been on tour around the country. You might have even bumped into it yourself. Dippy is a Diplodocus, a type of dinosaur, but in actual fact, as I discovered much later on, that particular model of the dinosaur is made up of a number of different parts from different animals, and it is a cast, so it's not the original bones. The original Dippy is in a museum in Pittsburgh in the United States. So there are always surprising things to learn about animals from the past. They might not be what they seem. Of course, other museums have collections of animals too, including the British Museum, which has a whole load of mummified cats from ancient Egypt, and a very memorable animal preserved in the ash after the eruption of Mount Vesuvius at Pompeii in Italy hundreds of years ago, is a dog still wearing his collar, as you can see here. Okay, so animals in museums, but there are animals on buildings and inside buildings as well. For example, one of my favourites is actually often found on churches and cathedrals in this country. It's something called a gargoyle, which comes from the old French word gargouille, meaning the throat. And gargoyles were put on the sides of churches and other buildings as sort of water spouts to take the rainwater away. They have very wide mouths, like this. Here's one of my favourites. It's a sort of imp or a devil, and the stonemasons creating them often used to create strange beasts. Other things which you can also find inside buildings are tapestries, and you saw me at the beginning with this amazing tapestry of a unicorn, and this is a whole series of tapestries which can be found in a museum in New York in America, and it shows a unicorn being trapped by hunters. It's from the medieval times. But probably my most favourite source of animals from the past, both ones that existed and ones that were made up, is in the illuminated manuscripts that monks created in their scriptoria or writing rooms. And some of these animals, as I say, are from real life. Others never existed at all. But that doesn't really matter. The monks often had great fun creating them. Take, for example, this picture of a hare riding a dog. And if you take a look close, you'll see that the hare is wearing a glove, and on top of the glove is a tiny little snail. Now, very famous examples of illuminated manuscripts packed full of animals, both real and imagined, were things called bestiaries. And bestiaries included entries about animals, descriptions of them, and an illustration. And you could find in their pages things like camels and pelicans and lions, but also made up animals like dragons and griffins and basilisks. So, for your writing challenge today, I thought it would be a great idea if you could come up with a beast for your own class bestiary. And what you'll need to do is you'll need to write a description of the beast. So perhaps you can use some of the things that I've been talking about today to help inspire you. Come up with a description, talk about the sorts of things the beast might like to eat, what sort of noises it might make when it's happy, when it's cross, what sort of smell it might have, okay? Also, does it have any special powers? Include those as well. So I hope you have great fun with coming up with your own beast, and happy writing. Bye.